Hey, Dan Parelli here. Well, we've got kind of a light calendar week. There's some Fed speakers. We got the usual Thursday unemployment figures coming out, but there's not a lot of major news expected. And so that means that this week is most likely to trade on two things. One is technicals, and that's going to be the main thing. And then two is any news that might come out, maybe something a Fed speaker might say, maybe a political event globally. But we're going to focus mostly on technicals. So speaking of technicals, in the broad market, the S&P 500 as measured by SPY, we've got a breach of the 50-day moving average to the upside. Now, the 50-day moving average has been resistance for about 3 weeks now, and now it has potentially become support. I don't like to say that when we just have one candle breaching it. I like to wait until it establishes itself with the confirmation candle following that. So unless we see it ending up by tomorrow's close below the 50-day moving average, chances are that that's going to be support, and we might have a little bit of upside drift. Now, that said, we do have some gaps from a couple of days ago here, busting through the 21-day moving average, which often gives a couple of days follow through, not much more than that usually. So throughout this week, I think we could go either way. Tomorrow is going to be the pivotal day there to see if we get the confirmation staying above 50-day or reversing back below it to fill some gaps. Now, the other thing we're looking at from I guess you can call it a technical standpoint, is the implied volatility, which is kind of at the center of the 6-month average following a period of about a 3-week period of being decidedly above average, with the VIX at 1376. That's still higher than typical. It's usually higher on Mondays as we recalibrate from the weekend coming out on Friday, leading to a falsely lower observed VIX. But with the VIX sort of in the middle here, that's sort of Goldilocks. It doesn't really indicate anything from a directional standpoint. It indicates just sort of business as usual, especially since it's sitting right around historical volatility. Nothing to be said there. So, it might end up being a slow and nice, easy week, ripe for selling some options to generate income on specific names when you can pick your spots. So, sounds like we have somewhat of a plan. Hope that helps. This is Dan Parelli. Trade smart and have a great week.